ProfessorBlackOps. You see it. Let's get it. CISA, Cybersecurity Infrastructure and Security Agency, states don't use single factor authentication for internet facing accounts and admin users, which is pretty common and we already know, but let's take a look at the article. CISA don't use single factor auth on internet exposed systems. Single factor authentication SFA has been added today by the United States Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, to a very short list of cybersecurity bad practices it advises against. The CISA bad practice catalogs include practices that a federal agency deems exceptionally risky and does not be used by organizations in the government and the private sector as it exposes them to an unnecessary risk of their system compromised by bad actors. They're exceptionally dangerous for orgs that support critical infrastructure or national critical functions responsible for national security, economic stability, as well as public safety. Furthermore, these dangerous practices are especially egregious on internet exposed systems that threat actors could target and compromise remotely. As the Federal Cybersecurity Agency, SFA, a low security authentication method is only requires users to provide username and password, is exceptionally risky when used for remote authentication or logging into account with administrative privileges. The use of single-factor authentication for remote or administrative access to systems supporting the operation of critical infrastructure and national critical functions is dangerous and significantly elevate risk to a national security, national economic security, and national public health and safety. Attackers can quickly gain access to these systems protected their low security method, given that the password can easily be stolen and guessed by various techniques, includes phishing, key logging, network sniffing, social engineering, malware, brute force attacks, and credential dumping. To top it all off, admins share the same passwords, and password reuse also increase the risk of attackers compromising a single function authentication protected system. So switch to MFA, multi-function authentication, makes it a lot harder or even impossible for a threat actor to pull off a successful attack. A joint study by Google and New York University, University of California, San Diego found that using MFA can block up to 100% of automated bots, 90% of bulk phishing attacks, and roughly 60% of targeted attacks. So admins and IT pros are asked to help. CISA has opened up a GitHub bad practice discussion page to allow IT professionals and admins to provide feedback and share their expertise on defending those systems. I'll put those links in the description box. Additional cybersecurity bad practices the agency potentially considered to add to the list of groups is using weak cryptographic function or key size, flat network topologies, mingling of IT and OT networks, everyone's an administrator, lack of least privilege, utilization of previously compromised system without sanitization, transmission of system or unencrypted, unauthenticated traffic over an uncontrolled network, and poor physical controls. CISA encourages all organizations to review the bad practice webpage and to encourage the next necessary actions and critical conversations to these bad practices. So once again, Professor Black Ops, Cybersecurity for the people. Please subscribe.